What's up, Go enthusiasts? This last week started the M. Lily Cup in 2023. The M. Lily Cup is a really big international world championship. There's 64 players in the first round. It's single elimination, best of one knockout. 64 players means that there gets to be two people from North America, two people from Europe coming along to join all of the rest of the Asian professionals, very strong players. And they get seeded harshly. So, in the first round, Alex Chi, one of our newest North American professional players, played against Kaja, 9-dan professional. Kaja, if you haven't heard him before, you haven't been following Go. He's about a 10-time world champion, something like that. Really, really famous. He stars in Chinese TV shows all the time. Actual celebrity of Go, and he played in the first round against Alex Chi, 1-dan professional. Let's take a look at the game. Kaja played black. Alex had white. Alex starts with the low approach and then a shoulder hit here. The one space low enclosure that Kaja plays is getting popular again. It used to not be popular when AIs just came out, but people are starting to enjoy taking the territory again. And Kaja, very famously a territorial style player. Alex plays a shoulder hit one time and Kaja ignored it. Well, Alex pincered and then Kaja answered over there. So Alex ignored to come to the corner. Sort of an interesting variation here. After this pincer had happened, if Alex had answered to this now, then the side would be too small that Alex has chosen when playing the pincer. So it made sense once this has happened to switch back and take the corner. Now, asking Kaja what he'd like to do over here. There's no great amazing move for Kaja to play on the side, so he just goes and takes a 3-3. Relatively standard variation here, and Alex chooses to immediately switch to take influence on the bottom side. This ends up in a fight. This is very common that this kind of fight will happen, and I'm sure that Kaja and Alex have both studied this, especially Kaja, but Alex wouldn't be suddenly on his own in a position like this. He's also seen this before with AI. And in this kind of position, it's common black pincers, tries to put a stone on the bottom side, maybe keep some pressure on the weight group, and weight should split, keep pressure on those black stones. This one black stone, this is going to be a fighting game. Kaja can take a base on the bottom side. Alex finishes off that one stone on the bottom left corner. Kaja pokes at it. Alex finishes it off properly like this. And Kaja plays a jump. So from here, Alex has a few choices how to proceed, and he shows his own style. Kaja is a territorial player. Alex is a thick player. Sometimes he plays moves like this, which may appear slow, just a second line move, defending his group. But Alex is very good at showing that these kinds of moves can be efficient. And this one in particular means that it's going to be very hard as Kaja continues playing this game to show an attack on the white bottom group. That L2 stone is on the vital point of where white needs extra eye space and connection. So from here, Kaja, if he can't really attack this, he only has maybe one target on the right side. It's not so easy to see how to show that you can do something. And Kaja actually immediately makes a small mistake by playing here. Of course, this is very natural. This is my intuition as well to play it at this one. But Alex simply attaches under. Kaja can't really cut or anything because if ever Alex can re-attack this corner, Black's capture would not be Sente or anything on the weight stones. Those are strong forever. So Kaja can only capture a stone in the corner in this kind of situation, allowing Alex to fix his own group on the right here. Kaja plays some Sente moves, forcing against the weight weakness. And eventually you can see Alex's shape, his position on the bottom side and on the right side is satisfactory. This is totally fine variation, even better than fine for white. Kaja needs to run out his weak group. He does so with an attach. It's a very normal, natural move. And Alex spent some time thinking here. Uh, Deserved time thinking. This is a really difficult position, actually, because there's a natural thing to do, which is what he does, Hane and connect. This looks like the general thing that you should do when you have one weak group there, one weak group there, your own potential weak group on the bottom side. You make sure not to get surrounded and keep pressure on both of them. But what this leaves is Kaja an opportunity to pincer on the right side. And the group on the right is quite annoyed about this R7 weakness. Alex has to like answer like this. And you can see in such a variation, we are a little bit sad that our right side group is not that efficient. So there were other ways that Alex could also have played this rather than simply Hane and connect. After Hane, he could have tried to push here, meaning if black cuts right away, then Alex could play Atari, and this move is going to be forcing on these bottom stones, but also will give Alex a chance to strike in the center somehow. So that would be too much for black to cut right away. So we could press like this. What's awkward is that we're sort of just going to end up leaving that cutting point forever. And eventually black will take it. So we can imagine a variation something like this. And someday black is going to cut here. And if we don't have a punch against the black group in the center, it may be difficult to figure out how to handle this kind of fighting. So although I think Alex probably knew that that push, it can be possible, that doesn't mean it's easy to play. Actually, I think the easier way to play is really counterintuitive. It's to simply play on the right side first, so preventing black's pincer. The reason why this is counterintuitive is that black can surround this white group. And if we simply just have to live this is not going to be efficient. But white has this really cool method of playing Hane here. It means if black cuts, then white can extend like this. And black cannot really cut this white shape, so although black captures a stone, white will still be breaking out. As long as white has a nice position on the right side, it's okay for this black's group to become strong. I mean, white will break out everywhere. So this is looking totally fine. Then the coolest variation is what happens when black plays here. White can play double Hane, or triple Hane, really. And this would be very impressive to find. This is difficult, but it means like if black tries to cut like this, then we can Atari this way. Of course, it wouldn't work for black. And if black ends up getting busy trying to capture stones over here, then you can easily see white could shatter the black shape on the bottom side. So tenuking an attachment like this is very difficult, but I think in this position, it could have given Alex like a significant fighting advantage. In the game, he just chooses to do things the normal way, like this. And that's fine still. It's not like this is so bad because Alex can still break out with his group here. He's not going to get sealed in. Just when black plays here, Alex feels inclined to exchange this forcing move. This prevents black from taking an eye there in Sente. And Alex can break out like this. Black, of course, can run as well. It becomes sort of a force sequence. White should be running his group. Black should be running his group. White, make sure not to get surrounded. As long as both groups of white aren't surrounded, this can't possibly be a collapse or anything. It just isn't spectacularly efficient for one side or the other. The game is still even. Black simply runs out again, making sure not to get his head bopped by Alex's capping move. And Alex plays this one. Yeah, the reason why Alex can play a thick style and be a professional player is that eventually, using his thickness, he likes to punch. He likes to gain an advantage with it. And this is sort of setting that up. This kind of move restricts black's movement on the bottom side. Of course, black isn't dead with those stones or anything like that when this happens, but it's pretty awkward for black to find his right move to run to the center. And it's pretty awkward for black to find his right move on the bottom side. So in the game, Kaja runs in the center with the other group. And this means that he's trying to keep pressure on the white group on the right side. He doesn't want that one to run to the center so to keep his own group under pressure. He'd rather force it to run to the top. The reason why? Black has such a strong shape on the upper right already. So if the white group runs towards the top side, these stones will become activated again, chasing them. This cap is setting that up. It's a good move by Kudje for sure. And Alex has a hard time figuring out how to play here, because if you just spend another move running, that's like okay, but it's not thrilling. And you could definitely argue that the black cap for a white move running to the top side is a good exchange for black. So in the game, Alex tries to play on the top side directly, playing this high move. He's trying to gain a lot of value. He's saying, hey, I can save this group. You still can't really attack it. And at the same time, I'm going to get some value on the top side. But it feels a little bit off topic because actually Kaja is the one now who can try to make a double threat between breaking the top side and attacking the group on the right. So uh, I think Alex would have been better served, and if he wasn't playing exactly against Kaja, I think he may have tried it to do one of his thick moves somewhere over here, something like this, and really put a lot of pressure on this black group. However, when you're playing against Kaja, the guy who's famous for saving everything, uh, you put a lot of pressure on a group like this, you can't be sure that you're going to get your value from it. So Alex tried to play patiently like this, tried to keep up uh, his pace, and Kudje gets to go to the bottom side. The way he does it, he tries attaching here. He's going to try to break out and connect to the group there, but Alex can of course stop it. And Atari, this is a very normal sequence, something you can expect. Kudje manages to capture this one stone, but Alex has broken through once again and can continue trying to keep pressure on the group on the bottom and the black group in the center. So he plays this one. It gets more territory in the bottom left. The black group, once it answers here, is pretty close to alive, but Alex can leave. He just goes and plays a big move in the upper left. This attachment is common. It means the black shape now is kind of over concentrated. That's a lot of stones for not that much territory, and black is sort of too thick. Of course, the white stones aren't very effective either, but as long as white doesn't care for them too directly, then it's not going to matter that they're very weak. They're just there and they can help out a little bit. Alex continues with a jump on the left side. So he's trying to, in general, keep a lot of pressure in the center. He's hoping that this can maybe get territory on the left side later. And if not, if Kudje would break that territory, it would help attack the center black group. Kudje plays this move, and Alex exchanges this forcing move to prevent Kudje's Atari, and then blocks here. Um, Apparently, according to AI, this block is somewhat small, and White could do some other things. But when I was watching the game live, I was not thinking like that at all. I thought this block was super big, just like Alex. And Kudje continued on the left side like this. This is a really interesting move. May be like, isn't that too much? Like, it's very easy to disconnect this. And Alex agreed. He's like, I should disconnect this, right? What can go wrong? And Kudje shows the meaning of this kind of move is actually to play away. It means that whenever Kudje is ready to actually start the fight here, he can now play stuff like this and force white to connect this way. Now, in a position like this, right now, the black group is kind of weak and the white group is kind of strong. The black group in the corner is going to be potentially another target. So black would not really be taking a fighting initiative when he plays like this. But later in the game, if you could imagine some black stones in the center, then such a variation would actually be very difficult for white to handle. So simply by asking this one time and getting a response from Alex that Alex is like, I'm interested in trying to capture your one stone here, Kudje has sort of created a weakness that Alex has to worry about on the left side. And after that, he's going to start to try to trigger something between the top side and the right. So Kudje is really sort of trying to start a chain reaction of fights where Alex will have a weak group on the top side, a weak group there, a potentially weak group there, and Kudje will try to link these all together and make something happen. Alex simply answers on the top side like this. It's more natural in this kind of position to play a Hane from the top, but Hane from the bottom played in the game, it isn't necessarily wrong and anything like that. It just is slightly unusual to not play a move towards your weak group. Kuja shows the perfect punishment. Feel free to pause the video and think about it. I really could never find Kuja's move in a long time. Kuja plays here, a diagonal move with his center group, and it's the best move according to AI. Just simply attaching one time, letting wait Hane, and then just leaving to play a move, just thickening, defending in the center. This is really, it's very difficult for me to think of such a move. But it's a really great move, and what it sets up is a potential surround on the white bottom side group. Even though white has this L2 move, if black can surround here, actually white is not locally alive. White would need to spend another move somehow, making it stronger. And that means that the black shape in the center is like much stronger now with the potential to surround there. The black group, it couldn't really be attacked. So black has prepared strongly now for a real attack on the top side and on the right, which if it spills into the center, he has a thick shape in preparation for. This is difficult for Alex to answer because if he answers on the top side somehow, then you can imagine that Koje would start to get an initiative by surrounding here and launching the attack from the left side that he'd prepared. And if he plays on the left side first, of course, Koje is strong to launch an attack on the top. So Alex tries to attach to the 3-3. He's trying to take more territory and endure. He's saying, hey, you're going to be able to attack me somewhere, but if I can just steal a bit more territory away, maybe it can still be fine. And Koje plays the peep, and Alex connects. Actually, if Alex had gotten the Hane in this variation, something like this is sort of Alex's dream, where he's getting some more strength in Sente. The black group on the right side has less efficient territory now. There's sort of too many stones there. And Alex could start to seize back control of the game like this, but Koje very accurately plays the peep in this variation, and then Hane. So that settled the corner in Sente for black. So black gets to play the first move on the top side, and it's quite annoying for white to simply capture an echo here. I mean, white can capture that one stone, but black can cut off white on the top side in the ko. And a ko like this is really difficult to play. Actually, the game is still only slightly favoring black, maybe by 2 or 3 points. But this is the kind of super high skill moment where a 9-dan professional can really show a difference between them and a 1-dan professional. In the game, Alex plays this move. And this looks like it's going to be a really good exchange. Because when black simply answers that, black didn't get the chance to push here. Alex now can, with one more move, make a fully living shape with his group on the right side by blocking at S8. So it seems like that really defended his group in the center, but on the other hand, black became stronger too. And if black gets the next move at S8, there was no change in eyes. Actually, this lost a little bit, in my opinion, because white was kind of supposed to be using the weaknesses around R11 to help him run into center and in general make co-threats as well for this topside ko. However, this ko is pretty awkward. More on that later. In the game, Alex plays the connect. Later's now. You shouldn't play the connect like that, actually. It should be better to play some big move, for example, preventing the bottom group from getting surrounded, something like this. If black plays here, simply playing another big move, living, for example, and letting black win this ko, it looks really big because, of course, the white stone there is useless now, and the white group in the corner is going to have some life and death problems to worry about. I mean, it's going to be alive, no problem, but it's going to be now black Sente endgame to play at S17, for example. However, this was better and more efficient for white than the connection in the game, because this way, white would be able to keep pressure on the black center, and um, the problem with the game, this winning the ko is kind of like wasting a move yourself anyway, because black can simply spend another move on the top side himself. That one stone at L16, which you were saying was wasted, is now a cutting stone, but you can't really very actively use that cutting stone to show that you're going to attack. You might use it in other ways. So actually, Alex will use it very quickly, but it's not really an immediate attacking stone. So the wasted stone here that I'm talking about is simply the fact that this sort of reverts to a variation where the N16 is Atariing M15 to help black into the center. This plus shape is very common when you win a ko, but it's really, really not an efficient shape by itself. If you look by Tawari about how it could have occurred, like M18 for N18, maybe you could call it a slightly bad exchange for black, but it wouldn't matter very much. N16 for M15, that is actually a pretty big deal. So this kind of ko is really difficult to judge when it's slightly more important or slightly less important than the big moves on the board. In this case, when Alex won the ko, it leaves him in a situation where black is likely to take the top side, and still the weak groups of white on the rest of the board remain weak. So in the game, Alex immediately starts another fight by running the cutting stone out. And I said he couldn't really do this to attack, and it's true. He's not really doing this to attack. He's more doing this to break the top side. So at this point, when you can see that white cuts here and plays a bamboo shape, white should be able to save his group over here, but it's not like he could capture these black stones. Of course, if white tries something like this, you may think it's a crane's nest, but black can play this move, and white cannot properly capture because black has an Atari. So that's why Alex played bamboo. It's the correct move. But when Koja plays here, he's sort of taking the top side anyway, and Alex is going to have to save his 5 stones, or else this doesn't make sense. He has to run them out like this. The meaning was that Alex is reducing the top side. He can try to keep pressure on the black group in the center still, but black is keeping pressure on white too. So Alex plays this attachment and cut. This is actually a pretty good idea by Alex. I support this. It's a very direct way to play, for sure, but it is hard for black to answer because white doesn't really need to save everything that he has here. As long as he does something to break the topside break in general this area, he can be satisfied. So in the game, Koja switches to attack the right side first. We're going to get back to the top side. This is going to be Sente, because Alex can save his group by exchanging these a couple times, makes an I there, and then makes another I. And then Koja can finally come back to figure out what he's going to do. He plays this move. This move is like the strongest way for black to play. He wants white to answer here, and then he could very cleanly capture these 2 stones on the top. If Koja had tried to immediately capture like this, then Alex could play Atari and Atari here, Atari here, Atari here, and Atari here, and black would be dead. This was Alex's reading. It's very sharp, and that's why Koja played here. Alex plays the descent. So he's resisting. He's making sure that Koja can't clearly capture something on the top side, and Koja has to Atari from this side. If instead he Ataris here and tries to fill a liberty, you can see it's 3 liberties to 3. So Alex is actually winning this capture race. That means when Alex plays this descent, Koja has to save his stones on the top side by pushing through, eventually captures these 5 stones, but white can capture the 2 cutting stones in the center like this. So although the original cutting stones died, white did manage to break the top side, and with a pretty nice shape actually. He manages to capture something as he does it. It's really quite nice fighting by Alex. I'm quite inspired by the attach and cut combination. Still, after this, when Koja attaches here, Black has a lead. It's about 5 points lead, just slowly built up from the slightly inefficient Ko, from the very small inefficiencies that Alex has been doing throughout the game. And Kuja's move here is breaking the white territory on the left in a very annoying way. White should descend here. It makes sense to make sure to keep his bottom left territory. But when Black jumps, White has to handle those stones. White has to handle his group on the bottom side. And at the same time, has to try to still win the game. Try to get some territory back. He plays the descent here. It's a small mistake. What Alex was thinking was that this descent is going to keep pressure on the Black upper left corner group, which is true. It does keep some pressure there. And if Black would answer, White would be able to get a little bit more territory on the bottom side and could start catching up. But Koja, although he's under some pressure in the upper left, he wouldn't just let you bully him. He captures the one stone in the bottom right. And you can see now this white group cannot live locally. This is the point earlier that I was talking about when Black surrounds directly, that White would have to spend a move. It's because Black would capture just like this. So when Black played these couple moves on the left side, they weren't the direct surround, but they were still very close to a surround. And it kept a lot of pressure on this white group that the E18 move ignored. So now Alex is in some danger. He plays a few forcing moves over here, making sure to get them now while they're big, and then tries to save his group on the bottom side like this. Black tries to seal it in. White jumps. Black plays the kicking move like this. It's a very, very annoying move. Alex simply connects like this. If he would try to play this way, there's always this kind of Ko-Aji, and Black wouldn't even really need to fight this Ko. It's very, very annoying. So Alex connected in the game, and Black simply extended here, keeping the pressure on. Alex exchanges this push for Kuja's killing move, making sure that Kuja loses the territory if indeed he does want to kill, and then plays the Hane. Kuja plays Peep. At this moment, it seems like Alex is connected back, right? So it seems like he's out of danger. He's going to be able to save his group here, save everything. But this Peep shows, hey, there's one more weakness that you have to keep in mind as you play. And Kuja's sequence from here was perfect. He played Clamp, asking White if he can really capture those two stones. White's like, well, I have to. If I don't, Black can save and try to attack my topside group. And then Koja exchanges a few times, making sure this White is truly locally dead, plays the cut. This cut combines with Kuja's second move here, another cut to force White to answer on the inside. That means that Kuja can get another forcing move here, and perhaps now you see where this is headed. Kuja can play this move. It's not Sente. That's why Alex extended one time. He wanted to get the next move to be able to maybe do something. But even though he has one move, he cannot save these 4 stones. Kuja can capture in Sente, so the black shape in the center is much stronger than it may have appeared. Black blocks on the left side. White tries to save somehow, but eventually when Black connects here, Alex has nothing left to do but resign. It was a really nice game by Kuja, and I have to say as well, a really nice game by Alex, even if he couldn't win. This is literally Kuja that he's playing against, and it's really cool to see him play Kuja pretty even for such a long time, even up through like 100 moves. The game was very, very close, and yeah, it was really an awesome game. So I hope you guys all enjoyed watching. Cheer on Alex and Kevin in the future. I am going to be playing in the North American Pro Quals myself just this upcoming week. I apologize for not having a video last week. It's because I was studying super hard and preparing to try to play my very best in that. So I'll see you there. Toodaloo.